Well, hello there, everyone. My name is Jasmine Sky. If you're new here, welcome. I just got out of the shower and I'm here today with another writing vlog. It's been a while. I'm very excited to get back into it. By now, the announcement has gone live. So if you did not see, I officially sold my Witch YA. It is going to be published. The title is Daughter of the Bone Forest, which I know daughter of titles are kind of cliche, but it's honestly the best fit. I came up with so many other title ideas and that was just the best fit. So you know what? We're going with it. So Daughter of the Bone Forest, my Witch YA, is releasing in bookstores near you in winter 2024. So that's going to be either January or February 2024. So you got a little bit of a wait, but one of the reasons it's not coming out until winter 2024 is because I have not finished it yet. Well, I finished drafts of it. As you'll know, if you've been following this channel, I have finished 5 drafts of it, but we are on draft number 6. And the thing that I was not able to tell you in my first 2 draft 6 vlogs is that the reason I was rewriting the beginning of my Witch YA again was because I got an editor R&R. So I actually got 2 editor R&Rs, and I talk about this in my road to getting my book deal video, so I'm gonna link that up there as well. But basically I had several editor R&Rs throughout the course of being on sub with my Witch YA. Draft 5 was actually an editor R&R, but it was a full R&R request, so that's why I did that big draft 5 rewrite. Was an editor R&R, and then that situation with that editor ended up falling through, so we went back out on sub with the new draft 5 version of the book, which was a lot better than the book we initially went on sub with. And then we got a 50-page R&R request just to sort of tighten up the beginning in the summer, and that was my draft 6 vlog, the first draft 6 vlog. And then we got another R&R request to basically do some plot rearranging to increase the character motivation. The reason that Rosie, my main character, goes off to the magic school was not as clear in draft 5, basically. It was very clear in draft 4, but the change to draft 5, which is a very necessary change, kind of muddied the water a little bit with regards to that kind of character motivation and that driving force, the reason she was, going off to the magic school in the book. So my editor, Holly West, pointed that out, and we had a really great call, and she requested a 75-page R&R, and I did it, and I sent it to her, and she took it to acquisitions, and I got the book deal, and it's all very exciting, but at this point, I'm only sitting at 75 pages of draft 6, and I haven't written anything more since November. Oh, by the way, it's January 24th. I took a long break. I needed it. I've been working on this book for a really long time, and it was really nice. The 2 R&Rs I did, the 50-page R&R to tighten up the beginning, and then the 75-page R&R where I still took that 50 pages and then I added in this sort of better start to the story and this better character motivation driving force for Rosie. It is so good, and I was so excited about Holly's vision from the R&R and from what we talked about, but I definitely needed that space to sit on it, and now I'm back here on January 24th. I took most of January rewriting my outline. I did have to submit a full outline, a full chapter outline with my 75 pages, and that was, what they bought my book on. But I did do some tweaking of that outline, and I had to basically see, I kind of combined a couple characters, and I was just basically trying to figure out ways that I could tighten the story even more. And I'm so excited, y'all. I want this book to be the best debut that it can be. And I'm really proud of what I think this book can be, and I'm proud of the start of it, but now I need to put in the work to make sure the rest of it shines. Luckily, this is not my last chance to make it shine. I just have to finish draft 6, and then I will be sending it off to my editor. I have an official deadline now, which is April 15th, and then I'll, be sending this draft 6 off to her, and then we will have some more rounds of revision after she reads the complete draft. So I'm trying not to stress myself out too much with like how polished it is at this point, but also I want to impress my editor because I want Holly to be happy that she, bought my book, right? So, we're gonna put in the effort, but the plan is to try to finish draft 6 by mid-March so that I then have a month where I can get some CPs to look at it and do a little more polishing before I send it to Holly. So at this point, I'm just kind of doing a very NaNoWriMo style, just like rough drafting. Oh, and that's something to make clear. Because of how many changes, like the change of Rosie's motivation and then some of the other changes that I've made that have just tightening up the book, have a cascading effect of meaning that this is a major, major rewrite, and none of the scenes are the same as they were in the last draft. None of them are exactly the same. Some of them are close, so they're only going to need a little bit of tweaking, but there's going to be a lot of new writing, like a lot of it. But luckily, it's draft 6 new writing, which is not the same as draft 1 new writing. Like, I know the characters, I know what's going on. I have a detailed chapter outline of exactly what happens in every single scene, so it's not going to be that bad. But also I took off too much time, so I'm a little rushed now, and I literally have to do a chapter every 2 days in order to finish on time with my mid-March deadline. Yeah. I am going to brush my hair while rereading the first 6 chapters. That is today's goal, is to reread the first 6 chapters. Those first 6 chapters were part of the 75-page version that I had sent Holly. They are basically ready, but because of the tweaks I made to the outline, there are just a couple little things that I need to tweak in those first 6 chapters. So I'm gonna reread them. That's today's task. And just to get my head back in this book again. And then tomorrow, I'm gonna do chapter 7, and then we'll go from there. Going through the first 6 chapters and tweaking them and polishing them even more than they were. This is the great thing about like several months of break, because you come back with fresh eyes and you can see things that you didn't see previously. Do you want to be on camera? Are you a star? What a cutie. Hello, good morning. It's not morning, it's late afternoon on January 25th. And I am working on chapter 7. I just finished rereading the first scene and writing the first paragraph of scene 2. There's 3 scenes of chapter 7 that I'm going to try to get through today. Well, get through the entirety of chapter 7 today, as I said. I'm feeling really good. It's a little later in the evening now. The sun is definitely going down. But I have successfully done all of chapter 7, which was awesome. I wrote 2,723 words today, which is amazing. I would say probably only like 500 of those were transcribed from my previous draft. So it was a lot of new stuff, but as I was hoping, it flowed really well. Like the fact that I know every single thing that needs to happen in every single scene, and I know these characters so well and the world so well, and like everything is so good, and in my brain, it went really well. Hopefully that's the case for every chapter to come and I don't get stuck anywhere. Hello everyone. It's been a couple days. It's now January 28th, Friday, and I did not write yesterday or the day before. I worked really late the last couple days, so I ended up stopping work a little early today and getting a bunch of writing done this afternoon instead. And I wrote 8,097 words. Caveat, most of it is from the previous draft. I just copied it over into the new draft. But I did revised through and edited all to fit the new draft, and I wrote some new stuff like in there. I don't know how much actual new words I wrote, but I got through 1.5 full chapters. 2.5 wait, how many chapters did I get through? I got through basically 2 chapters. I still have a little bit actually of the end of chapter 9 that I need to sort of double check and go through, but then that leads directly into chapter 10. They're the same scene, just split up in 2 different chapters. Good morning. It is January 29th, Saturday, and I just finished going through the rest of chapter 9, which was pretty good. I actually went back up to the beginning of chapter 9 and did a little bit of tweaking, and then I went through the rest of chapter 9, and that means I am fully on schedule. I guess I was fully on schedule yesterday too, but you know, despite missing those 2 days of Wednesday and Thursday, I caught up because I did all of chapter 8 yesterday and the first half of chapter 9, and I finished chapter 9 today. So we are on schedule. Tomorrow I got to do the first half of chapter 10 and then keep going from there. So things are going great, and I am going to go to GameStop and pick up Pokemon Legends Arceus today, and that's what I'm going to do the rest of the day, is play the new Pokemon game because I am so excited. It looks so good. There's Dope. This is so pretty. I totally have a crush on Captain Silene. She is awesome. Well, hello. Go, baby, go! You got him! Yay! I did it. Hi there. It's February 1st. I didn't write on Sunday or Monday. And it's now Tuesday, but I wrote. I have mostly caught up. I just finished chapter 10. I should be at the first half of 11 today, but if I do all of 11 tomorrow, which I don't think will be that difficult, then I will be back on track. Look, it's a snow day. This is always very exciting for, you know, Texas, especially Central Texas, Austin, where I am. We don't get snow very often. This snow is very gross and icy, but it means a snow day because I work for the university, and yeah, there's no school today. No one is driving these roads. They are very icy. We don't have any salt machines or anything here. So yeah, I just finished chapter 11, which was great. I worked on it a little yesterday. I just didn't update y'all, but today I finished it, which is gonna be good. Tomorrow I am going to try to do all of chapter 12. We will see. Let me go show you. I created a new schedule for myself. Here is my new schedule. As you can see, it is February 3rd today. I forgot to say that. But tomorrow, February 4th, I wanna have finished chapter 12. This might not happen. I might end up pushing it a day and finishing 12 on Saturday because 12 is a chapter that is like completely new. So we'll see how well that goes tomorrow. But here's my schedule. I have a couple days built in, like the 28th through the 2nd. I'm going to be out on a work trip, so I'm not going to try to write during that. And also the 12th through the 14th, I am going to be on a vacation, a little Valentine's Day vacation, so I have nothing there either. But I need to finish. My deadline is by the 18th, so I actually have 5 bye days with the current schedule, even with those breaks in there, which means, yeah, if I need to push it back a day and finish 12 on Saturday, I'm okay. It's Friday, and I should be writing, because as previously mentioned, by my schedule, I'm supposed to be writing an entire chapter today, but I think that's gonna have to happen tomorrow because my deal announcement went up yesterday evening, and also today, Author Mentor Match Round 9 mentees were announced, which I'm a mentor for AMM, so I, announced my mentee and doing all that stuff, and I am literally drowning in notifications and things to do. Like, I'm trying to like deal with GOODREADS right now and update my website, and just like, I'm a little overwhelmed. Talk with my new mentee. There's so much going on in a good way. It's all very exciting stuff, but writing is not happening today. So tomorrow morning, I'm gonna get it done because I need to write chapter 12. It needs to happen. The deal's been announced. Look, I gotta make this book a thing so that people can read it, because people have been so nice and excited for it, and I'm just very overwhelmed, and like, it makes me even more just like, I need to make this book the best thing I can make it for my debut, and so, you know, it lives up to people's expectations, and I'm having a lot of emotions. Hello, it's Sunday, February 6th. I have a dog trying to get on my lap and a snake in my hand. And it's been several days. But I'm here to say that I wrote this morning, which is great, because I haven't written. Loki, I have not written. It's not been good. But this morning I got a lot done. I wrote 3,500 words, which is basically a full chapter, but I did it across 2 different chapters. I wrote the first 2,500 words of chapter 12, which was all from scratch, and then the first 1,000 words of chapter 13, which was from the last draft that I kind of just edited up. So I still need to write the last 1,000 words-ish of chapter 12 and the last 2,500 words-ish of chapter 13, but that's what I did today, and it was a good amount of work. And I am a couple days behind, but as I said, my schedule has 5 bye days, so, you know, we'll be okay. Hopefully I can catch up this week, because I am going to Dallas Saturday, Sunday, so I won't have any time to write next weekend, which is normally when I have time to catch up. So we're gonna try our best to do a lot of writing. Hello, everyone. It's Monday night, and I just finished chapter 12 / also worked on chapter 13 / went all the way and wrote like half a scene in chapter 22. I don't know, I guess I'm jumping around right now. I'm just trying to write what's flowing, but I also want to keep like mostly on track and keep pace with like the chronological order of the book. So it's a little silly. It's late, but I just finished watching Nathan Chen win gold at the Winter Olympics, so that was exciting. And yeah, so it's Wednesday, February 9th, and I have really struggled with writing the last couple days. I've struggled with having the time and the energy to do it, but I was like, I gotta get something done tonight. So I wrote in between every men's free program that I watched tonight, and I got about 900 words done. So that's good. I'm making good progress with chapter 13, whichever one I'm on, but I think that I need to rearrange the scenes. I was looking at it after Nathan Chen won, and I was like, I think the thing I wrote is the first scene, which is what I read tonight, was the first scene of this chapter. I think it actually needs to be the last scene. It just feels like a stronger ending scene than a beginning scene for the chapter. So I'm gonna need to look and rearrange. And I also don't know if the chapter is gonna be long enough, because right now it's only 2,000 words, which is like 1,500 less than most of my chapters. So I gotta look into it, rearrange it, see what I can do to get the word count where it should be. Maybe that means moving this next scene of the next chapter up. We'll see. It is Friday the 11th, and I have finally finished chapter 13. I had to do a lot of rearranging. I moved a scene from 12. I went back to 12 and added something that I realized I needed, and then I deleted what I had planned for the end of 13, and I moved it. It's gonna be in 14, so like just a lot of rearranging, but I finally did it. 13 is done. I think it's probably really messy, so I'm gonna have to go back and polish it before I turn this into my editor, but we're gonna move on. I just need to move on to 14. But I'm gonna be gone all weekend, heading up to Dallas for a fun weekend getaway. So I'm gonna work on 14 probably Sunday night when I get back while I'm watching the Olympics on Sunday, because that's what worked pretty well the last, update. It is February 16th. It's a Wednesday. And I just finished chapter 14, which is a little behind schedule. I have my schedule right here. And my new schedule that I made because I didn't stay on track at the beginning, but I have no more bye days. Like I gotta stay on track if I'm gonna finish this by mid-March. Anyway, my new schedule had me finishing chapter 14 on Valentine's Day and finishing chapter 15 tomorrow. I gave myself a little bit of leeway because the beginning of the week is always the hardest. So I gave myself 3 days to do chapter 15, which I guess worked out because I didn't finish 14 till today, which means I have to do all of 15 tomorrow, but I have like 2,000 words from the old draft that I just put into chapter 15 that need to be heavily edited, but are definitely like the vibe of what I want to have going on. So I think I can do all of chapter 15 tomorrow, and then I'll be on track, which would be great. Thursday the 17th at like 10 p.m. And I really wanted to write all of chapter 15 today. That was the plan. But I realized I messed up the end of chapter 14. Like I just completely messed something up logistically in the world, and I completely rewrote the last scene of chapter 14 and wrote the first scene of chapter 15. So I did write quite a lot today, but I am slightly behind schedule. So it's okay. I can finish 15 tomorrow, and then I have to do 16 on Saturday and 17 on Sunday. It's fine. I just took a shower, like just after dinner. It's only 8 o'clock. And I was trying to figure out what to do for this second scene of chapter 15 that I don't really have a clear picture about. I have like words there that I can try to edit, but it's like, I'm just not satisfied with it. But I think I might just kind of throw something on the page and move on because I don't really have time to stay on it, and I can try to polish it up later, or if my editor has ideas in the future, we'll see. I gotta learn to like just let it go. It's 9 p.m. now, and I wrote like 1,000 words, but I deleted everything that existed that I had put into this chapter from the previous draft. Like none of it fit, so I deleted it all. So the chapter's only 1,800 words right now, which is the 800 words that I wrote yesterday and the 1,000 words I wrote today. And this scene is not quite done. Like it needs a beginning and an end. I just basically wrote the middle, but it's not going to add more than a couple hundred words. And I'm still going to be like 1,000 words short of my typical chapter length, which means the pacing is off. And I don't know what to do with this chapter. This chapter is driving me crazy. And I can't just move up a scene from the next chapter because this is a different point of view. And like maybe I just make it a 2,000 word chapter. Maybe I just accept that, and maybe something will come to me in a later like draft 6.5 or whatever. I probably just need to do that and move on because it's not like I'm worried about word count. In fact, I'm worried about word count the other way. I think this is going to be too much words. It just makes me worried that the pacing of this chapter is going to be really off because it is short. Like it's going to be a really short chapter. But that's what betas and CPs are for, to tell you these things if they think the pacing is off, or maybe they won't notice and they'll just like move on with it. Maybe I'm just worried about nothing. Yeah,
Yep. Okay. I'm glad I talked to you. Yeah, I'm just gonna wrap up this scene and, add that beginning and end and just move on with my life.
Hello. It's Sunday the 20th at 10 p.m. and I wrote like 500 words this weekend, which is subpar, but I have this thing where if I'm really stressed, I just have a really hard time being productive. I don't think that's an abnormal response to stress, but it's not a useful response to stress. I'm really good at getting my stuff done like under a deadline pressure, but when I start feeling stress like in my body, I have a really hard time being creative, especially. And the problem with writing is that the deadline pressure does not feel as close as like doing an essay for school, for example, because it's such a far out deadline comparatively. So anyway, it's something I need to work on now that I am a writer with deadlines that are like contracted and stuff, and I know if I really needed to I could push my deadline back. Authors do that, but I don't want to, especially for my first deadline. So I was just feeling a lot of stress, but I realized while I was in the shower that I was maybe putting more stress on myself than I needed, because this whole time I've been telling myself you need to finish by mid-March. My deadline's not till mid-April, it's not till April 15th. And I wanted to finish by mid-March so that I could have CPs come in and then, polish my book up, right? But I realized the things my CPs are going to point out are going to be larger developmental things. I don't have any CPs that do like line level editing, nor do I really want CPs to do line level editing, because I do a lot of line level editing and polishing myself. So doesn't it make more sense to wait to give it to my CPs until I also give it to my editor, right? And give it to them, on April 15th, so that when my editor comes back with notes and my CPs come back with notes, I'll be able to combine them and create an even better next draft, versus getting those notes before sending it to my editor when I'm only gonna have, even on this ambitious schedule, 2 weeks to get that done. Doesn't make any sense at all. I have a vacation planned with my friends to Vegas. We're gonna go on a long weekend trip, Thursday through Monday, and do the Vegas thing, which I've never done before, which is gonna be wild and fun. And it's partially to celebrate me getting a book deal, partially just for all of us to hang out, because with COVID, we haven't been able to see each other. So I'm really excited to go do that. And that is in early April. So that is my new deadline. I'm leaving on Thursday, April 7th for that trip. So I think instead of trying to finish by mid-March, I'm gonna try to finish by April 6th. And then I will have this Vegas long weekend to reset my brain and not think about my book at all. And then I'll come back on Monday the 11th or Tuesday the 12th, and I'll have 4 or 5 days to go over my book again with kind of a fine-tooth comb, reread it, polish it up. I know there's going to be some developmental things that are going to be not quite right, but that's what my editor is for, right? To help me sort of brainstorm and fix those issues. And honestly, I would be too close to fix them anyway, even with my CP's help. I always need a little bit of space before I can go in and come up with the best solutions to developmental issues. So as long as I polish it up so it's not rough to read, which even as it is right now, it's not super rough, but I can definitely polish it a little bit more and smooth it out a little bit. But that won't take me more than those 4 days. And then I can send it off on the 15th to my editor and my CPs, and we're golden, right? So this just gives me a lot more space. I actually went ahead and in Dabble has this feature, kind of like NaNoWriMo, where you can put in your intended word count and when your due date is, and it'll tell you how many words you need to write a day. And in Dabble, putting in April 6th as my new due date, I need to write 1,200 words a day, which is a lot better than what it was saying, which was 2,000. Let's see, if I put it back to March 18th, 2,100 words a day. So it's almost 1,000 words a day less, which is just way less stressful. And I still plan to write more than 1,200 words a day, especially hopefully on the weekends. This weekend was a flop, but you know, hopefully next weekend I can be really productive. But you know, this just gives me a lot more grace, and I needed that because I need the stress to just like, even just talking about this right now, I can literally feel my back just like uncurling. Like this stress is just like, shh. According to my word count, I am 49% of the way through this draft, which is pretty accurate. I have about 2/3 of chapter 16 done. I did write like somewhere between 500 and 1,000 words of chapter 16, and then I also had a scene that I had transcribed from the previous draft. That being said, the 2,200 words of chapter 16 are all very scattered, and there's like nothing connecting them yet. There's no transitions, and the scene that I transcribed has not been edited, so there's still quite a bit of work to do on chapter 16, but I'm very close. I'm pretty much at halfway done with this draft. So I think I'm just gonna go ahead and end the vlog here on this, you know, realization that I'm gonna give myself a little more time and, you know, come back at it and hopefully be less stressed and be more inspired, therefore, to, you know, actually put some quality work instead of just like scrambling to get this done. So expect to see my next draft 6 vlog coming at some point. I don't know if I'll just do one more and do it mid-April, or if I'll do 2 more and give y'all one in March and one in April. We'll figure it out. Actually, go ahead and let me know in the comments below. Do you prefer more but slightly shorter vlogs, or less but longer vlogs? Would you prefer to have one vlog in March, one vlog in April, or would you prefer to just have one in April that wraps up the rest of this draft? Let me know, that would be good. Oh, and before I go, last thing, I did switch my uploading day. I was doing Fridays, I didn't really like it, so I'm going back to my previous upload day, which was Tuesday. So I will be trying to upload at 11 a.m. Central Time every Tuesday for the foreseeable future, hopefully. As always, there are links in my description to causes that need your support. Also in my description is the link to my Daughter of the Bone Forest GOODREADS. So if you're interested in adding Daughter of the Bone Forest to your TBR or wish list, shelves, whatever it may be, you know, you can do that. That link is now in my description, which is pretty exciting. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and I look forward to chatting with y'all in the comments.